Hello, everyone. Hi, Teacher Kelly. Thanks for joining today. So, today I thought I would show off my new classroom since we recently moved. But then I'm gathering pictures of the new classroom because the camera angle, it's kind of a mess right now. I found some old pictures of my old classrooms. So, I thought let's just take a trip down memory lane of all the different places, or most of them, that I have taught at in the past 6 years. So I started teaching with VIP Kid in August of 2016. And right now it's August of 2022, which means I've been an online teacher for 6 years. Wow. And during that time, I have been in three main classrooms, but I've also taught at other places too along the way. Different vacations, taught at my parents' house for a while. So let's take a trip down memory lane, shall we? Some of these classrooms can be seen on my YouTube channel. If you go back to videos from a long time ago, you'll see me in some of the classrooms. So here we go. We're going to go over here today so I can draw on here and show you some things. So this is all using ManyCam, which is super cool. Okay, so here's my online classrooms from 2016 to 2022. Okay. Let's start off at the beginning. This is my laundry room classroom. Okay, so for about 3 years, I taught in a laundry room. And I love this place because it had a door. Okay, it had a door that closed this whole place. So once I got into my chair, I closed the door behind me, and it was a very enclosed place. And my daughter, I only had one at the time, to hide in there. So she had fun there. And one time they had to access the panel and the top thing. So I was forced to clean out my classroom to make it look like a laundry room. So I had to get everything out. And boy, we had a mess under there. I had no idea we had so much stuff hiding under my desk. But what was nice about this is I could still do my laundry in there because this desk raised high so I could still get to the washer and the dryer. But I would do laundry once a week, and sometimes I would move this table up and I would just kind of dive in there, take the chair out. Sometimes I would clean off some things on the washer dryer in case it shook, but otherwise, no, not really. And I had this cute little thing off to the side that held all my fake food, and I used a lot of props back then, so it's very prop heavy. This is before I used ManyCam, so I had a ton of props that I used at the beginning. Hello, Kathy. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Okay, let's take some more peeks at the laundry room classroom. So here's another view in here. So when I closed my door, this was the inside. And on the back of the door, I had some of those towel rack things. And I hung these jewelry holders in there with my flashcards that I used a lot. And I had magnets over here on the metal, power strip thingy that you had. So I used my space. Behind my chair is behind my chair was the water heater and the hot water tank, which were ugly. So I just run a shower curtain in front of it. And I changed those shower curtains out every year, every season, just depending on what I felt like having behind me. And this one I had some twinkle lights. Those Christmas twinkle lights that weddings you sometimes see. And I strung those behind the shower curtain. No, I think it was in front of it. So you can get the little twinkly effect to it. So that's kind of fun to be able to do that. Sometimes I did double shower curtains to make sure that it was very solid. So I put black and then I put something fun in front of it. Because I didn't have a wall. Like I have right now, I have a blank wall. There's no blank wall in this room. So I had to make my own blank wall. And because it was so tiny, I had the lamps facing the wall to shine back at me. Well, now they're all on my table and shining at me because I have no wall to bounce against. But in this room, it was too bright to have them at me, so I bounced it off the wall. So there's some, tips and tricks to teaching in small spaces. But I loved this room. Then we moved, and well, one cool thing that I learned is use every space you can, including under your laptop. They always say to raise your laptop up to be eye level. Well, I used to have a box there with a lid. There's like lift up my laptop, lift up the lid every time I want to get to the stuff inside. No, 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 not anymore. I got this cool thing from a thrift store. It's just like a metal box that has an opening in the side. So then I started shoving my things under there. So instead of having things around me, I could reach under my laptop and bring things up. That was a game changer for me because I was able to utilize every space I had in my tiny classroom. So I'd love to know, what are your tips and tricks with your classroom? This was my game changer trip. Did you have a game changer tip with your classroom? Okay, let's take a peek at the next one. Now, when I was teaching VIP Kid a lot, I would teach every morning at my house, but every Friday and Saturday night when my husband was working, I would teach at my parents' house and they would watch my daughter when I had one daughter. Now I've got 3 kids. So every weekend I would go there and the curtains would have been pulled back like this, and I would close off the curtain and then bring the table in front, and voila, I would teach there. I had a little section over here that I had. Later on, we had a green bookshelf that I could store my stuff into. After a while, since I was teaching there all the time, I upgraded this curtain to be more of a blue curtain with stars on it, and they just moved off to the side and moved it back and forth for me. So it was really nice to be able to teach over there. It was like a 15-minute drive to get to their house. My daughter had grandma time. I taught for about 2 or 3 hours. Then I packed my stuff up and went home and put her to bed. And we did that for many, many years. And so I slowed down my evening classes or until my husband started getting those nights off and he could stay home and watch her. Or sometimes I was able to um, uh, like teach at home. I would put my daughter to bed and then I would teach a little bit. So I always changed it up a little bit. Um, yes, the camera angle facing up gives you the double chin. Right. So if you had your laptop on your table and you look down on it, you start getting that little double chin here. Yeah. If you have it too high, it looks like you're looking up to it. And that's no good either. You're like, hello, students, who's way up there? No, you don't want that. You want to where your eyes look straight, and then there's the top of your laptop, your camera. Okay. So it means for me, I have to raise mine up probably about 6 inches from the table. Because if I have my table at what height that I want it to have, I got to raise it up. So might as well use the space underneath. On this one, and this is what I have now, it's a different kind of container, but you can see that it is higher. I used to use a box, but then that's wasted space. I couldn't access the box. So, you live and you learn and you try new things every few years. Okay, so this was teaching weekends at my parents' house. This is me teaching wherever I am, and I have taught in some creative spaces. Here's when we traveled to North Carolina, and I taught in the sunroom at my husband's grandparents' house. And at the time, I was teaching mostly trials, and I did teach every morning because I needed to keep earning some money. And so I just taught a few classes every morning, brought my trial props, my favorite reward system. I brought my dyno because this was like completely VIP kit only at that time. So that was fun. Another time we went on a trip and I canceled most of my classes, but I did have to teach a few, so I taught in the bathroom. So this shower curtain became my background and I faced this way. So I sat on the toilet seat, put my laptop on the counter, and I had the backdrop of the shower curtain, which I tried to get as straight and smooth as possible, and it worked. Because in that hotel room, I had my 2 daughters and my husband sleeping in the main room. I didn't want to wake them up by just teaching in the big room. So I went to a room that had a door because I asked and there was nothing available, no meeting rooms available, no weight room available, nowhere I could teach. It was during like COVID. And so I made it work. And they all had to wait to use the bathroom after I was done. So it was fine. Oh yeah, Danny has a video about teaching in a hotel bathroom too. Yeah. It's a very common place to teach when you're hotel because it has a door. So that's a good place to teach if you have to. And so the night before, I got it all set up and kind of played with the angles a little bit and go, it's just for one class. I can handle it. I also taught at my friend's house. So one time I was watching her kid while she was doing photography at a wedding, and I said, "How about this? We do a trade. I'll watch your kid all day for the wedding. If when you get back, I can teach here at your house and you can watch my kid for 2 hours while I teach upstairs in one of your rooms." And she goes, "That's a deal." Because I'm like, I don't think you can get back here and I can grab my daughter and head all the way home or my parents' house before class starts. It's just too close. So I need to teach here. And so that was a deal. So during nap time, I went upstairs and I moved some things around so that I had some things on the wall. I had my things hanging on a chair. I brought my laptop up higher by moving a bookshelf over. And I made it work. And so she watched my kid downstairs for 2 hours and was like, even trade, done. No money was traded. I didn't have to lose my classes, pay for her babysitting. She didn't pay for mine. It was great. This is at my old house, and I have a video of me teaching there just a few videos ago, and I'll put all these links up above later on in the cards. But as we were moving out of our house, we had no furniture. We were selling everything, or everything was packed. So I taught for 2 weeks. 2 weeks, guys, on the floor. I put some pillows on the floor, put my laptop on a box, and I just taught right there. So, you have to do what you have to do. And I just use this wood wall as my background, and it was totally fine. Okay, it looks like one of my kids is up, but so she'll join me. Okay, here is my second big classroom. So I taught in the laundry room classroom for about 3 years. Then we moved to the new house and I taught in a wet bar. And it was a small space. You can see a little bit here. It's this big. That's it. It's just enough for my chair and my desk. And this is my view as I looked out at the kitchen. So this is what I got to see. Here's a better view of the bar itself. And how small it is. Yeah. My desk thankfully has wheels. I wheeled the desk out. I snuck in that chair and I wheeled it back in. And so here's me teaching in my little area. And it works because all they saw was this much of the background. They didn't see any of my mess over here. And so it was totally fine. Here's a little view of my lights because I had to play with lights a little bit. I had 2 lights hooked to my table and I had a big lamp that I put in front of me or just off to the side and tilted some of them over to me because it wasn't quite bright enough with those 2 lights. It's a very dark area. But back behind my chair is a sink and a counter. So at one point, probably a previous owner had the sink here. They could serve their drinks here into the living room. I just use it as a classroom and it worked just fine. So sometimes you have to be creative with where you have to teach. And yes, I had all kinds of junk and stuff in there, but I just made sure that was in the camera view was clean and that's all that I need to do. So then I started teaching out school, but with out school, I needed to have a place that I could show things with a background. So I needed to have a place that I could have my camera sideways to show jars. And look at this classroom. There's no place to do that. Where would I do that? There's no background place. Everything had to live on my tiny table. And there's no room. Like there's no good picture of my tiny table. There's some later on. Okay, so I had to be creative, and so I used my husband's office next to me for some of it. And my daughter wanted to join. It's late enough in the morning that she's here. um, so I used that for a while. Put my laptop over. I brought the lamp over here. I had a lamp here with my camera angled so I could see it. So here's the front view and here's the side view. And that worked for a while. But right over here in the hallway is my daughter's room. And so she got to the age where she's like, "Mommy, mommy, mommy." If she sees me, she's going to call for me. So that didn't work after a while because the hallway was right there. So I needed to move that classroom somewhere else where she couldn't see me. If she heard me, that's okay, but she couldn't see me or that would be bad news. So then I moved over to my dining room and I had it set up over there. And I just used her high chair to lean up a whiteboard that I covered with a sheet. And then I was able to aim my camera sideways. And I showed you this in previous videos, but this cell phone holder, gooseneck holder, is a game changer. I could put my cell phone on there and join as a second participant, or I can have my um, external Logitech camera there, and with Minicam, I can show it on the same screen. So, like, let me show you. I'm just going to clear this off real quick. On here is angled down right now, so you can see down here, and so it shows you like a one cookie sheet's worth. Yeah, this is my daughter's hand. She's going to pat it for me. So I can do it on Minicam too, which is kind of fun. So I moved over there for a while, and that was great for a while too, but it meant I had to set it up every time I wanted to teach. And so that was a pain to like move things over to set it up and then move things back so we can eat our dinner. So that was a lot of work. Let's see here. Well, then I went and moved to my bedroom. So this is all in the same house. In the evenings, instead of going to my parents' house, I went to my bedroom because I had a door. Doors are very important when the kids are awake. I can lock the doors. And at this time, my husband was not teaching on Fridays and Saturday nights or not working at all. So he could watch the girls and I could teach. So I would go into my bedroom and I would teach. And I tried different ways to set up until I finally found the way I liked. For a while there, I sat on my hope chest and angled my camera and looked this way. As you can see, my kids want to teach too, so they are my teacher helpers. But then I thought to myself, well, what if I want to go sideways and have a view? So I started doing it like this. So I had my table. Look at how small my table is, but I love my table. Okay, my table is that big, and then I angled my camera towards the whiteboard if I had to. So my hope chest, instead of becoming my chair, it became my tabletop where I put my science experiments because I teach science on OutSchool, and then I have my chair back here. So I use this wall as my background instead of this wall as my background. So you might have to change with rearranging your furniture to get it to work right. I was in the same corner, but by just moving sideways, it made a huge difference. So you can also try that. And then sometimes after class, I'd let my girls play with my science experiments before I clean it up, because why not? Let them play. So you can see here my kids are just having fun with my science, usually after class, not usually during class. Now here's my new office, and I actually get to be in an office room with a door. Unfortunately, these doors are French doors and they just kind of close and open. They don't lock at all. So, which is why she walked in on me here teaching. Thankfully, it's a YouTube, not an actual class. If it was a class, that'd be bad. But I use the same setup. I have my table here and my whiteboard here, and I can just change the angle of my camera. So here is where it's looking down at my tabletop, and here bring it around in front of me below my face. So it's like right here by my chest, down below, angling at my table over here so I can put my jars and stuff here. So you have to play with a little bit, but having this to be adjustable depending on what kind of science I do is great. Okay, one more slide. And I like this table because it's a sitting desk and a standing desk. I got this at a thrift store 6 years ago for like $20. And it's fantastic because it can go down this low and it can go up this high where I can stand on it. So you can see based on the hope chest that it did raise quite a bit to standing. So depending on what I need to do, where I need to go, I can adjust this table really easily um, to to do it. Now I usually have it sitting if I'm going to use my whiteboard because that's the best angle for it. But if I'm tired, I will put maybe a mat under my feet, toss out the chair, and stand for a while. And which is nice having a blank wall. I will eventually get stuff on my wall behind me, but I use so many stickers with Minicam that it's like it's too busy if I have too much stuff back behind me. So that is my standing desk. And so here's the full view of the office. We had fun with this one. So this is our couch that we can sit on. It opens up to a hide-a-bed that stops right here at the rug. So when we have guests come over, they can sleep here, and I'll just teach in a different room or I'll kick them out by 6 a.m. Here's my little office corner, and then my husband has a little office corner as well. So this is kind of like our study. We actually have doors that close. And so adding privacy, I found some cool things at Dollar Tree. Okay. Over here, I have over the door hooks that have like 6 hooks on them. And then this is a shower curtain, a cheap, thin plastic shower curtain at Dollar Tree that my daughter and I helped cut in half so we could hang them on the hooks. And I like shower curtains because they already have the holes at the top. You could use a sheet if you want to, but I'm like, I'm just going to try this. They have the holes, so they went on the hooks great. So this is the inside, and this is looking at the outside of the office. So there's a little bit of privacy because they're all clear glass. And so if anybody walked in, they would see me teach, and maybe it's okay, maybe it's not okay, but I thought having a little bit of privacy was nice. So that was my trick. So this cost, well, now it's $1.25, but $1.25 here, $1.25 here, and $1.25 for the shower curtain, and I'm done. So it's less than $5 for a nice curtain. um, okay, grand finale, I think. Oh, that's it. So that's a trip down memory lane of my 3 main classrooms. My one in my laundry room, the one in the wet bar, and the one here in the office. But it also includes other classrooms that I've taught at throughout the years at different hotel rooms, different friends' houses, my parents' house. So let me know, how many classrooms have you had in the past however many years you've been teaching online? So how long have you been teaching online? How many classrooms have you been in? Have you changed anything in your classrooms to make it better? As you teach, like I discovered that I want to use the space under my laptop. I discovered that I want to change the position of my desk to give me more room. I have discovered many different things. What have you discovered in your classroom? And have you taught anywhere strange? Have you taught outside? Have you taught in an Airbnb or a bathroom? Where have you taught? Kelly says, bye. Fun to watch and see all your old classes. I know, it was kind of fun going a trip down memory lane. I'm glad I took all these pictures. I mean, who takes pictures of your classrooms? But I wanted to keep it for memories. So it's interesting. And you've been in one classroom. Okay. How long have you been teaching online? It'd be nice to just stay in one classroom, but we've had to move like every 3 years just because life. We we haven't, tried to make that decision, but we've done. Um, or have you changed anything in your classroom? Have you changed the backgrounds up? Have you done anything fun and different? Even in my other classrooms, when I could change it, I would. Like once a year, I would change the shower curtain on there, or I would change a few things. Kathy says, great video. I never changed my classroom. I know. At some point, you just leave it generic. When I was in my wet bar classroom, it was hard to put things on the walls. Let me go back here for a second. Right here. So once I started putting these stickers on the walls, I just stopped. And I just lived with that for years. I used to have it plain, but one company said I need to have more stuff on there. So I put those on there and I just left it. So once you get it how you like it, leave it. My daughter's drawing on the screen. So yeah, I agree. Once you have it how you want it, then leave it how you want it. And I'm going to leave this plain until I get word otherwise that I have to put something behind me, and then I will. She's trying to draw. Okay, I'm going to take that away. um, Kelly says, hold on, sweetie, that she's changed backgrounds several times. Yes, sometimes you just need to change it up. You need to try something new. It just depends on what you're feeling like, and what you're teaching. Like when I started teaching without school, instead of just VIP kid, I changed things up depending on where I was teaching. Different companies require different things, so you have to change it up for those. Just depends. Or if you like it, leave it. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. I'll go back later and put some cards up here to show off some of my old classrooms. And let me know in the comments below your thoughts about your classrooms. And if you could change something, what would you change? Bye, guys. See you later. You want to wave bye? You want to lick? That's how she says bye.